Roger Van Horn is known in Nacogdoches for his friendly smile, quick sense of humor, and dedication to helping others. But he was not always the servant leader.
In 1965, I spent part of the hot summer at Fort Sill, Oklahoma as an ROTC cadet. We were fulfilling our obligation to receive our commission as second lieutenants in the U.S. Army. To understand the importance of this summer in my life, you need to know the person I was at the time. I was there because my father wanted me to be there. I did not like the military, wasn't interested in it, and frankly spent the first half of the summer camp being a nuisance, disrespectful, really was being irresponsible. And we had an evaluation, and as protocol had it, you would always report to the commanding officer at attention, knock on his door, ask to be brought in, told to enter, and stand at attention until you were told to stand at ease. Well, in my attitude of a spoiled junior in college, I just sauntered in without any respect. Captain Nolan told me firmly but kindly to please leave the room and enter as I knew military protocol dictated. And so I did. And I knocked. I was asked to come in. I stood at attention. We sat down and he was evaluating some work, and he asked about how I liked summer camp, I guess was the first question. And I went into this long monologue of how I thought it was a waste of time, how I thought the military was highly overrated, that they needed bunches of manuals to teach them what to do and how to do it. And even he, as a commanding officer, read some books.
So there's probably even a manual for this interview, am I right?
And that I had very little respect for the military. The thing that touched me, Captain Nolan paused a few moments, and then he talked to me. He said, "You may be right.
You may well be right about the Army, and I'm sorry that the only reason you came to this summer training was because your father insisted on it. But how does it feel to know that you're ranked in the bottom 1% of the entire camp of cadets? Surely you have more respect for yourself than to accept a ranking that low."
And that's all he said. And then he told me I was dismissed.
You're dismissed.
I could not get his comment out of my mind. I couldn't have excuses anymore for poor behavior, for poor performance. I kept hearing Captain Nolan saying, "You must think more of yourself."
Surely you have more respect for yourself than to accept a ranking that low.
It changed me. It changed me for the rest of my life. That, in fact, I have a choice every day, under any circumstance. I have a choice in how I respond. Appropriately, kindly, hardworking, or not. And that has stayed with me to this day.
Born in Tulsa, Oklahoma to an oil service contractor, Hoover Van Horn, and a homemaker, Marguerite, Roger and his sister Virginia enjoyed a relatively safe and secure Midwestern upbringing. As a child, Roger enjoyed scouts and baseball. At Nathan Hale High School, he found a student council and theater a natural fit to his personality. He served as president of the senior class that was the first to graduate at the new school. He and his friends wrote the school song, designed the school ring, and created a new yearbook, The Patriot. Summers were spent helping his family build a cabin on Lake Fort Gibson. His dad required rock clearing every visit before any swimming. As he grew up, Roger helped his dad's company, working as an oil field roustabout. He studied biology and philosophy at Westminster College in Fulton, Missouri, then off to the University of Missouri in Kansas City for 4 years at the School of Dentistry. He was commissioned as a lieutenant in the U.S. Army and was sent to Fort Belvoir, Virginia. It was there he met and wed Betsy. The pair went to Germany, where Jacob was born. Matthew would follow a few years later. As he was wrapping up his Army commitment, Van Horn started searching for a place to begin his dental practice, targeting towns of 10 to 50,000 with a college. During one leave, he and his family toured Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. As the family drove through Nacogdoches, the car broke down. While the car was being fixed, Diana Walker heard about the young family's plight and invited them to a Sunday school party. She took care of the family all weekend. And after all that careful planning, the kindness of strangers through a random experience convinced the Van Horns that Nacogdoches would be a good place to live. So he came back alone in 1975 and bought land for his office. He was a kid from Missouri with an Italian car and a New Jersey wife, but Nacogdoches welcomed the young family. Builders, bankers, and new friends all helped the young dentist create a new place of business. Using his tactics from high school and advice from new mentors, Van Horn joined groups and met people one-on-one to build his business. He went to groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings and would go to stores just to try on clothes to meet people. He joined the JCs and eventually became president. At that time, the president of the Jaycees was also on the chamber board, so he soon served on chamber committees. Van Horn served as chamber president in 1985-86. He then taught English to Spanish speakers at First Baptist, then served on the city's Planning and Zoning Commission for 6 years. That led to being on the city council and being elected chairman, which then changed to mayor as the at-large position. Despite his growing profile in Nacogdoches, Van Horn says his real calling in life did not come until he was nearly 40. A newfound faith helped him stop operating, as he puts it, to the gospel according to Roger. He began a deeper, more meaningful approach to life. A renewed commitment to his family takes place with annual visits to North Carolina beaches, where his sons and their children help Roger reconnect with the days when he and his parents and sister spent outdoors on the water. His service focus is evident on mission trips to Ecuador to serve the indigenous Indians. These trips moved him not only geographically, he says, but also moved him way out of his comfort zone. He has helped build houses in Jamaica and returned recently for another dental mission trip to Ecuador. The office of mayor is also a challenge and a satisfaction for Van Horn. He says he likes being mayor because it is different than being in dentistry. In his office, he sees closure. He can see a problem and fix it. With the city, it can take a long time to fix a problem because 30,000 people are involved, not just one. From a serendipitous beginning in Nacogdoches to a life that is now characterized by intentional focus, Dr. Roger Van Horn is an example of how maturity and commitment can lead to a purposeful life. The Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce is proud to name Dr. Roger Van Horn as its 2013 Citizen of the Year.
Roger, please join me on stage. Stop there. Well, Jacob, you got to be the big brother for about 5 minutes. Since Matthew was first here and then Jacob. And Matthew reminds him of that quite often, I might add. I met the Dr. Mayor when he'd been in town, a couple of weeks. And I had no idea that I was going to be the presenter tonight when I got here. We do want to thank Tipton Ford for sponsoring this award. And it is a great privilege and an honor to acknowledge again our Citizen of the Year, Dr. Mayor Roger Van Horn.
No, I'm just trying to gather my thoughts and my emotions because, as you can see, a lot has gone on in one's life, right? I want you to know that I believe deeply there's no such thing as a self-made man or woman. I think you all would agree that over time, countless people have invested in our lives, trusted us, nurtured us, and so I can say that truly there is nothing for which I can boast. If there is any measure of character in me that might deserve this honor, it's because I had a loving, gracious, benevolent, patient God who gave me parents that loved me, a sister who led me to Christ, gave me friends and family, gave me wonderful teachers and professors to nurture me and train me to serve His creation. He gave me wonderful sons and them a wonderful mother. It is countless the things that He has given all of us. He led me to this town. I suspect, I didn't know that at the time. I was pretty proud of myself at the moment. But I do know that he led me to a town that is full of people who qualify for Citizen of the Year, who serve daily, meeting people's needs, often unrecognized. So for that benevolent God and all of those citizens unrecognized for their loving care to our city, I humbly accept this honor and thank you very much.
Well, that went better than expected. Matthew and Jacob, please stand. These are my other two sons. I have 4 boys, and one of them's here tonight, my business partner. When they're behaving themselves, I take credit for being their Uncle John. When they're not, it's Roger's fault. Aren't you glad your brothers made it in? Well, it's just about time for me to give up the microphone. I hope you're as relieved as I am. Banquets like this don't just happen. I'm sure that planning has already started for our 2014 banquet. I'm seeing some heads nod over here. Betty Shin is the banquet chair. She's new to town and she's kind of bashful, so y'all need to try to get to know her. But she stayed real busy since she's got here. Betty's banquet committee includes, and I would like for you to stand and remain standing until I've introduced everyone, and hopefully I will introduce everyone. Daniel Alders, Charlotte Ashcraft, Rayanne Duchesne, Donna Finley, Keith Hand. Are y'all not standing after me told you to stand? Keith Hand, Grace Handler, Jessica Henderson, Dr. Carolyn Mitchell, Scarlett Sloan, Polyetta Sunda, Angela Wiederhold, and the chamber staff. Let's give them a... Among other tasks, they organized the room layout, seating, and worked with the Fredonia on food and beverage. They also communicated with many of you about your reservations. To Susan Pack Rents and the Fredonia Hotel Fredonia team, thank you so much for a great job. Susan, to you and your team. Many thanks to Terry Thompson Wade and to SFA University Marketing Communications Department for their assistance with our videos. We appreciate Shirley Luna and Hardy Meredith for their contributions tonight. NISD's Michael Early also contributed significantly to tonight's success. Thanks to Robin Land and Andy Brosick, did I say that right, Andy? With the Daily Sentinel for several images used in tonight's videos. Also, our appreciation to Donna McCollum of KTRE-TV for her assistance and archives. A tip of the organizational hat to Ken Hutchison with the C.J. Baxter Group. He started our chamber board transition process off with a great retreat facilitation. Thanks again to our many bronze sponsors. Now, a round of applause for all the volunteers, partners, and their work. We wish you a safe journey home. Thank you for being with us, and good night.